I was just 17 years old when I was taken hostage into Gaza. On the morning of October 7th, sirens sounded in my kibbutz, and we entered a safe room that would stay for hours. We began to understand that something different was happening outside. We heard from friends that terrorists were roaming in other kibbutzim. Then I realized they were inside my home. My father was still recovering from a bicycle accident, but he got up and tried to block the entrance to the safe room. He did everything he could to protect us, but it was hopeless. The terrorists broke into our safe room and murdered my father. As we were leaving, my sister fainted. My mother went to get something to help her, and I stayed with my younger brothers. When my mother returned, she discovered that my sister has been shot in the face. She meant no harm. She was just a harmless girl, lying helpless on the floor. And yet, they still chose to kill her, like her life didn't deserve a chance. Then, they took my mother, my younger brothers, and me to my mother's car and drove us into Gaza. We were terrified. Civilians in Gaza were banging on the windows. I could see in their eyes that they want to kill us. We arrived at a house that looked like a normal civilian home. Inside, there was a balcony with a shaft that led down into a tunnel. My brothers were scared to go in, but I told them it will be okay and they could go after me. The tunnel was low, cramped, with no air to breathe and no light of day. One day, the terrorists moved us to an apartment, where we were kept for 5 weeks. We were held by a school teacher, who was also a Hamás terrorist. He was supposed to be teaching students. Instead, he held us hostage. We were moved many times. Everywhere we went, we were dressed in Arab clothing, and the terrorists wore civilian clothes in the streets. One day, we arrived at the supermarket. For hours, the terrorists forced us to hide within the shelves. We were hidden there among the everyday items, right in the middle of civilian life. When I wasn't feeling well, a man came who claimed to be a doctor, but he wasn't. He pretended to examine me. He told me I will be released soon and go back to Israel. It was a lie. Sometimes I try to speak to the terrorists. Where in the Quran does it say it's allowed to murder innocent people and kidnap men, women, and children? Every time I asked, they stayed silent. One night, they took me and my family to a mosque. There were children inside and people praying. I believed that a mosque was used as a place to pray, but instead, Hamás used it to hide us. Another night, we were moved to a school. We watched as rockets were shot from inside the school, aimed at my friends and family in Israel. We heard civilians cheering for each rocket, while we were being held hostage right next to them. The terrorists didn't allow my brothers to speak to each other when they tried to play or draw. The terrorists took their art, ripped them up, and threw them away. That Saturday, we were alone, just us, facing Hamás terrorists. And even today, when I see anti-Semitic protests around the world, I feel alone in the face of terror. The world must not forget the nightmare that we experienced. The world cannot ignore what Hamás did to my family. Our fear, our pain, our loss. It must be remembered. Don't leave us alone. Support us. Stand with us. Don't forget what they did to us. Don't forget what they did to me.